Alrighty. 3, 2, 1.
Boom, and welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by Hunt Proof. Go get you a Hunt Proof app. Look me up on Friends. It's Jeff Stanfield, and make me your friend. Also brought to you by the geniuses, the evil geniuses at Boss Shot Shells. I'm lost today, boy. I'm like all fucking confused. God almighty, there it was again. Today, I have screwed this all the way up.
Who are you talking to?
I don't know. It's like all of a sudden I can't talk. I'm tongue-tied.
Are you having a stroke?
I don't know. I hope not. That's
what
happened last time. I'm with the world famous Andy Shaver.
Yes.
That would be you.
Yes. Correct.
And Minnesota's favorite son, it's got to be Zach Meyer from Boss Shot Shells. But now,
what's up?
Well, I fucked that all up.
You did.
Yeah, you did.
Something was in the news. Y'all live in Benton Harbor, don't y'all?
The what?
Where do y'all live at? Benton Harbor, Michigan?
Oh, we're south of that, Stevensville.
What happened?
Michigan.
Something happened in the news at Benton Harbor the other day. I was going to ask you about it, and I forgot what it was.
Man, I don't know. I don't follow the news a whole ton.
It was more of that.
Stay away from that shit.
It was more of that
Bad
fucked up
you.
Democratic shit. Anyways,
It's bad for you.
when we went to game fair, Zach,
Yeah.
you knew every son of a gun that walked by. How did you get from your point of graduating high school, being a stud hockey player? First of all, I don't know how you didn't end up in the NFL as a tight end. From that to being the big boss man at Boss. How did that all work out?
I just, I don't know, man. I was just in the mix. I like going to game fair as a little kid. My uncle would take me, and you just walk around and see the same people over and over and over, and you start talking and hanging out. And that was back in the day of like the old school forums. So you'd talk to these guys, and then you'd see them at that event. And just, I don't know, the Minnesota waterfall group's pretty small. It's pretty tight once you get into it.
Boy, those forum days were something else.
Oh God.
Oh my goodness. You think Facebook is bad right now? Like the fucking forum days? Ooh, boy.
Well, especially when you could have whatever screen name you wanted. So guys that hide behind that
Totally
shit.
anonymous.
Yeah, so you could throw some major shade on people,
Well, that took a big backfired here in Texas this weekend.
This weekend?
Yeah, oh, big time. Wichita Falls Hershey is predominantly a black high school in Wichita Falls, and they played Graham, which is predominantly a white town, I guess you would say, south of there.
Okay, hold on. Start over.
Okay. Graham and Hershey played football this weekend.
Okay. Hershey.
Hershey is predominantly a black high school, and Graham is predominantly a white town, and they played. And Hershey is very both teams have really good programs. Hershey's got 3 or 4 kids that are Division I. A couple of them are 4-star. They got a running back that's committed to USC and a wide receiver, I think, that's committed to Texas maybe. But anyways, someone got on a forum at Dave Campbell's football and wrote on there and said, "Don't bring your bananas to Graham," and said something about monkeys and all this shit. Well, in the end of the third quarter of the game, with Hershey leading 24-14, they throw an interception, and the Hershey wide receiver, the big star athlete, tackles the kid. He tackles him kind of hard, but it wasn't that big a deal. It was a tackle. Well, anyways, another kid jumps on him and starts throwing punches. All hell breaks loose. Mm-hmm. Both benches clear. They have a fight. They call the game suspended, and they haven't declared who won, even though Hershey was ahead, and the kid from Graham started the fight. Well, found out, and I'm not going to say where he's from because I'm not that, but I do know for a fact, someone that wasn't from that town, that has no ties to that community at all, is the one that made up all this shit. Well, it's come to light now who that is. That dude is going to pay out the ass for this thing before it's all said and done. But it's that forum shit. Got on a football forum and made all this shit up.
He had to have had the knowledge of Hershey and Graham.
Right, but he doesn't live in in either one of the towns. He lives in a small community somewhere else.
But he still had to know that
yes.
black versus white, and we can just throw a little turd in the punch bowl.
It's the forum shit. If someone's stirring it up, because you can be anonymous on a computer, well, somehow they tracked his ass down to find out who it is.
See, we didn't have that reverse engineering when the forum was going on. So guys would they'd have several accounts. They'd have burner accounts, and they just start a major shit show. It happened out here. I mean, it was everywhere. Just people would talk shit, and it's just this anonymous person. You're like, motherfucker.
It would make me mad, but I never dwelled on it that much. And it's like I tell people all the time, it's like a bad review. If you work your ass off and you make a product, or you're in the hunt business and you do everything you can that's impossibly in your control, and things don't work out, all you do by arguing back and forth and debating with them is just continue it longer and longer. Let it go. It don't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, and 90.
Yeah, just grow up and get on with it.
95% of the people see through that shit anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember back in the day, there would be like the areas or states or whatever, guys would be talking shit all the time. And then your techie dudes back then would look up the guy's IP address and post that, you know, and like, I wasn't ever smart enough to figure it out, but
no,
there were guys that did it all the time. I thought it was hilarious.
Just put them on blast.
As someone that likes to stir up shit all the time, I miss those days because I love getting on just a random forum and talking shit and pissing people off. And
you do that plenty on social right now until you get the handcuffs.
I am handcuffed big time. My Instagram now, if you try to follow me on Instagram, anybody wants to follow me, it's Stanfield68.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, if you go to follow me right now, they send you a picture and it says this person shares
fake information,
false information. So beware if you're sure you really want to be friends with him. I'm serious. I've had 3 people send me a picture today about that. And that's, if you try to follow me, that's what it says. And it's not false.
Well,
it's just the shit they don't like.
You keep.
That's classic. It is what it is, though, right?
Yeah.
Just keep going. Do your thing.
Oh, I don't give a shit.
You keep saying that Michelle Obama has a penis. Like,
I did not
even
say
close to being.
I didn't say she has one. I said that hasn't proven to me she don't have one.
You posted a picture on your Instagram where she's got a mustache and it's clearly doctored.
Okay, so she don't have a mustache?
No.
Did you
take it down?
Do you think do you think she was born with boy parts?
No.
You don't think so?
I don't think
You think she's just a hideous woman?
Yeah, I mean, she's
Andy's
not
a
my
fence
cup of
sitter.
tea. No, I just told you.
Okay. Do you think I don't know that she had a penis or not. I don't know
but
about that.
that's what you shared on your Instagram, Jeff.
I said,
so that's why you're getting the hammer.
I said, is that true? I said, is this a true pick is all I said. I don't know that she doesn't.
I'm just looking for the truth.
I don't think she had kids, though. Do you? You think those daughters are hers?
Jeff, I don't know enough about Michelle Obama. I'm not a fence. I'm not a fence. I'm not sitting the fence. I'm telling you, I don't know anything about Michelle Obama. I'm sure she has pictures of her and the babies. I'm sure she does.
Well, they could sure.
But here's the deal. I'm not looking her up, so of course I'm not going to see any pictures of her with the baby. You know who else I hadn't seen with her baby? Hillary Clinton. I hadn't seen Nancy Reagan with pictures of her with pictures of her babies.
I don't know if Nancy Reagan ever had kids.
I haven't seen pictures of Melania. Well, there you go. That would make sense. I hadn't seen pictures of Melania Trump holding Barron when he was a baby.
I've seen pictures of Melania Trump, and she was not born with a penis. I can promise you. She's a hottie.
Either way.
Anyways.
There you go. For the record.
I also saw a picture of Big Mike and Obama in a kayaking down the road, and she does not need to be wearing a bathing suit either. She has shoulders bigger than him. She's not. I don't think she ever had any kids. I don't know. You can't. That's all a fake deal anyway. So anyways,
okay. Here you go. Right there. There's several pictures right there of her with what were her kids' name? Meyer or something. They're all right there. Happy little family. There you go. You can put it to rest now.
Let me see them real quick, and I may owe her apology.
Yeah. Now he's gonna fact check.
No, I'm not gonna fact check her, but see that here.
Her and her babies.
Man, she's prettier now than she used to be, and she was woof.
Yeah.
Boy, Barack was a drinker. He had to be to get married with that thing. You talking about there ain't enough beer goggles in the world to tack that on. Wow. Imagine being the most powerful man in the world and you're married to someone that looks like Same with Bill and same with Jimmy Carter's daughter. Oof.
Not good.
Mm-mm.
I can't recall her.
Well, she was nothing you'd want to check out for sure. So anyway, Zach, we got from forums to the Obama children. So what was your first job in the outdoor industry?
Working for Wild Ear. After graduated college, went and did 9 months doing commercial accounting.
Ugh.
And no bueno.
You're an accountant?
No, hell no, dude.
You got way too much personality for that.
Placed into that.
What did you do there?
It was like monthly, just tenant statements, rent statements, and all that stuff for like these property owners.
So you were just trying to make a paycheck.
Yeah, totally. I didn't know what I was doing. I was still caddying after college because I like to caddy.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just carrying guys' bags, and then my mom's like, dude, you're gonna get your shit together and like get a job. And I'm like, I probably should.
Why didn't you pursue the caddy route a little bit further? You can make a lot of money being a caddy.
Dude, I was crushing it caddying at 2 loops a day and a straight cash.
What does that mean?
Easy.
Straight catch. What's that mean? I don't understand.
Well, from a tax standpoint, it was just cash.
Oh, cash. I thought you said straight. It was a straight catch.
The same as you with your tips that you don't turn over to the IRS don't know about.
Yeah.
Shit.
I thought you said straight catch, and that was like a golf term that I didn't know about. Straight cash, straight moolah, greenbacks. Yeah, I got you. But no, I report everything.
What kind of I've played at some pretty fancy golf clubs, but I've never played where we had an actual caddy. What kind of tips is a caddy making? $150 green fee. So what kind of tips you making on that?
$150 green fees. I don't know on that. This was like a private club right by my house. So I first caddied there when I was like 12. Probably a horrible caddy at 12. Like one bag just dragging it. I'm sure it was miserable for those poor people.
Caddyshack.
I don't know. You're a big guy. Like I doubt. I'm sure at 12 you were plenty capable of fucking carrying somebody's golf clubs.
Yeah, but still, like,
would they ask you like, "Hey kid, what do I need to shoot here?" And you're like, "Fuck, I don't know."
No, at that point you just carry the bag, and you just pretty much just keep your mouth closed. But once you grow into it a little bit, you can kind of tell them just where to play it. Not what club more or less, but just where to hit the ball.
What kind of
stay away from
what kind of tip are you talking? They giving you $40?
No, after school it was probably $150 tip
per guy per round.
Yeah, that's on top of your normal your normal rate that you got for a round, but I'd carry 2 bags, so I'd get 2 guys of the foursome, and then the other 2 that I didn't carry, they'd tip, so eventually they'd all tip you, and then I would do 2 rounds a day.
So you're making $500-$600 a day.
Yeah, at least.
Jesus,
fuck, that's pretty.
And your
good
mom
money.
said, "When are you going to get a good big job?" Like, what the fuck, Ma?
Yeah, I'm loaning money to Dad right now.
Yeah, I'm getting $500.
Yeah, I was like, okay, well, I guess we'll get a job.
So
I got one.
Next time I see a 50-year-old caddy, I'm gonna know that fucker's happy and doing what he wants to do.
Oh shit,
dude! And you're walking. It's always nice out. Like, it's just good. It's easy. It's fun, and you meet like very interesting people. And if you.
So that's where you kind of became comfortable with, and I'm sure you were always kind of outgoing, but like watching you with clients at the bus, like it's very, very natural to you. But you're a fucking caddy, so that makes sense.
He's doing a podcast right now.
Who's coming in?
There's Sareki.
It's the big boss man.
Did you read it last night? I'm gonna bet you 10 he didn't.
No, I didn't.
I knew you wouldn't. I knew it.
Did Meg call you today?
Huh? I talked to
you this morning.
Meg talked to me this morning, but I was more.
All right, so you tell me what's more important: you getting the shit you need from us, or me reading an article?
You reading an article because it would have meant something to me. See,
what was the article,
Jeff? Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go up, sit down. I'm going to read. Which one do you want me to read first? I'll write the
first one. I'm writing a column about our Lee Chose's weekend with us, and it's going to be along the Cletus and Ollie lines. And I asked him. Hurt my feelings. He never even knew about it before anyway. So, and I include Boss in all my articles.
These guys think I do nothing but listen to podcasts
and read too. I thought you read. As smart as you are, you have to read a lot.
Yeah. I do, but it's at weird times.
Well, last night at 10 o'clock would have been a weird time, but I'd appreciated it.
Jeff, I was doing something a little more important than reading your article at 10 o'clock last night. I hate to tell you.
Wow.
Jeez. Good for you.
Read
on a Monday.
Yeah, on a Monday.
I'm ready to write this down. What am I doing?
Go to Split Read and look up Cletus and Ollie.
Yep.
Part 1.
You spell it with a K or a C?
C. A K. What the hell kind of rednecks does he think we are? Cletus is always with a C.
Well, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Cletus is with a C.
All right, Cletus and who?
Ollie, my dog.
Okay.
Lee drank bourbon with my dog this weekend.
Read the first one.
Yep, read the first one. Then let me know what you think.
Don't read the second or third
one. Well, you can read
one?
all of them. There's 4 of them.
Oh, there's 4. One.
Is this what you just wrote?
No, I wrote this last year. I wrote for Split Read.
Jesus Christ. All right.
Go back to work.
He's going to read.
Yeah, good.
He'll report.
He'll be down in a minute. He'll say, "Damn, Jeff, you are talented." See the talent. So anyways, you're making some big money. I had a chance to play at Las Vegas National with a guy. They flew out in a private jet and they invited me out to go, and I did not go, and I've regretted it ever since. The reason I really regret it is, what's that hot chick that dated Ben Roethlisberger that was a pro golfer?
The one from the bathroom?
Oh, no, not the one from the bathroom.
Oh.
Smoking hot chick. I can't remember. She was on the PGA Tour. Anyways, they were doing a photo shoot with her in a bikini on the golf course, and I fucking would have been there when that happened. But anyways, they were in golf carts, and he said they would get the golf carts and they would drive the ball, and he said the caddy would take off and sprint to where the ball was. He didn't carry the bags; it was on the golf, and be there and find their ball and have it marked at the location every time they hit the ball. Now, did you do a lot of sprinting when you were caddying?
No, I think they probably refer to that as like forward caddying. So you just know where the ball is. So you'd start that hole like halfway down or probably where they're going to hit their drive or whatever, so just try to save them time.
Natalie Gublis. Was that her last name, or Goublier? She's a smoke show.
No idea.
She would make a good new mom for you, Andy, if like your mom got hit by a bus or anything. Just throwing that out there.
Natalie.
A lot better than Britney Spears. Well, that bitch is way out there too. So, anyways, you went from caddying and accounting, and I can't see you as an accountant. Did you see her?
Yeah, she's good looking.
I told you she's a smoke show. So you went from accounting to you got into so what was your first outdoor business after this caddying job? Wild Ear.
Yeah, Wild Ear. So worked for Uline for a couple of years selling packaging, which was phenomenal experience, and you learn to be disciplined and organized and everything else. And then got an opportunity to go work for Wild Ear. Did that thing. What was it? Almost 10 years, I think. And then this started to go. So,
how did you meet Brandon? Was it just at like a game fair or something like that, and y'all just hit it off, or what? Or was he a customer?
No, I didn't. I hadn't met him. Talking to Corey Loeffler, he was talking to Brandon, and then he was like, "Hey, I want to launch this brand, shell, whatever. How do I do it?" So then Corey was kind of like the conduit between that. So I had eventually talked to Brandon. This is probably like 4 or 5 months into everything. So that's how we met. Met in person, and it was cool. It was awesome.
Hit it off.
Week after a game fair. And
then, so you were in Minnesota when you were doing Wild Ear, weren't you? And then you moved. Yeah. Then you moved to Michigan.
Yeah, me and the wife and the kids, we moved out here. It'll be 2 years in Thanksgiving.
Was that a hard sell?
Not really. I mean, the area is nice. I brought her out here a couple times, and we kind of just cruised around and looked at everything. It's nice. It's really nice here. We're really close to the Lake Michigan. Obviously, that is. It's only 7 hours back to Minnesota, so it's not like we're incredibly far away.
If you're married to a smoke show like Zach Meyer, you don't mind moving with him anywhere.
You say yes, sir. Where's right. My bag gonna go?
Hey, she just said, "Honey, if you want to move to Siberia," she said, "I'll have the truck pack. Just let me know." That's how that works.
How much can I take?
Yeah. Is your wife going to enjoy us? Is she going to enjoy us in Mexico, you think?
My wife, yeah, she'll think you guys are full of a bunch of bullshit like me, and it's like-minded peeps.
That's right. That makes for a good time.
Now I want to go back to the golf because we had Nickum on here, and he said you rope-a-doped him, and you took some money away from him.
Nickum is not. He cannot hit a golf ball.
You stole money from him at Top Golf, he said.
Yeah, sure.
Right out of his pocket.
He's the one who made the bet.
What did y'all bet?
He said you rope-a-doped him.
I told him I'd pay his entry fee into the calling contest the next day, and he's like, "Hell yeah, dude! I got a free entry into whatever contest it was." Then he went and took a piss and came back out, and I was like, "All right, you ready? You want to do it?" And he's like, "Yeah, let's do it." So I just hit one, and I was like, "Boom! Give me my money."
What'd y'all do? Who could hit it the farthest?
Longest drive?
Yeah.
What'd you hit it?
Yeah, you know how Nickum is. He's all running around, thinks he's a big shot, and like, dude, you got to pop that little pin cushion every now and again.
How far did you hit it?
He called it a piss missile.
No,
he calls it a piss missile, is how he describes it.
Call it a piss missile. He's fun to mess with. You can get him going in like 2 seconds.
0 to 100 with Nick.
Yeah.
So did you play a lot of golf like in your off time? Because you get like a free membership, don't you? You can just go out and play on like off days.
We got to play when the club was closed. It was Mondays, so we got to play on Mondays. That was another reason I didn't want to like have a normal gig. Is like we could go play Monday and then you just run around, and keep going, and pretty much caddy Tuesday through Saturday.
Andy worked at a golf course too, but his experience was a little different than yours.
I did. I was on the grounds crew, and I fucking loved it. It was awesome because you would show up to work at like 5, you would work until 1, and then you had the rest of your day to do whatever you like. Be a college kid, go to the pool, go fuck off, do whatever you want to do.
Tell him about T-Rex, Andy.
We had this guy. So there was an eclectic bunch. Like
these were career guys.
I was there for a summer, and there were guys that had been there their entire lives. Yes, 100%. And so it was a summer, and I was like, I don't really know what I want to do. I knew I didn't want to wait tables or anything like that. So a buddy of mine had actually done the same thing at a different golf course, but so I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. And who's he yelling at?
Dirk, looks like.
Oh, poor Dirk. So anyway, I show up, and then like one of the guys, because you don't know anything, you don't know how any of the equipment works, so you get teamed up with guys, and then there was a guy there. He had too many DWIs, so the judge let him. He would just serve his sentences on the weekend. So like instead of going to jail for like 6 months or whatever, he had like 2 years of weekends. So he'd get off. I'll never forget it. Friday afternoon, he'd check himself into county jail, and then he would check himself out Sunday at like 6, and then he'd be at work Monday morning to start cutting greens and shit again.
Yeah.
So then there was this other guy, and he came on like halfway through the summer. He had like a nub for an arm, little bitty, like he had one regular size arm, and he had like one T-Rex arm. That's what I imagined when you guys said it, but I didn't. He was a weed-eating son of a bitch with that one good arm. Like he had this one like kind of hung up here, like in his sleeve or whatever, and then he would take that fucking weed eater and like he would just go to town. Like that fucking weed eater swinging.
Somebody knows him that's listening to this too.
I got a picture of him not long ago. Somebody listened to a podcast. He works on like a road crew in Lubbock now. It's the craziest thing. This guy works on a road crew, and he's like, "Hey, is this the guy?" I'm like, that's fucking him.
He's got a lot of bent up frustrations. He ain't never been able to jack off his whole life.
Yeah, he's not switching hands at least, but he would. No. And he'd crank it up. He didn't even need anybody to crank up the weed eater. Like one arm and the fucking just, and then he'd go to town.
Here we go.
Someone sent you a picture from the road crew. That's great.
He loved it.
You should get him on. Why would you get him on?
Didn't you have another guy that would go to strip bars?
Yeah. So then there was another guy, Norris. I'll never forget Norris. He had to be there early. Well, he lived outside of Lubbock like 30 minutes. So the way he comes to the golf course, you have to drive right past the strip club. Well, it closes 2:00 or whatever, and by the time the strippers,
so you could spend the night there.
He would leave his house early enough so that he could watch the strippers leave the bar and walk to their car. And then he'd talk to me like I'd fucking know the strippers' names. Like, tell you what. That old Candy, I don't know her and her old boyfriend. I don't know what they got going on, but they were screaming and hollering at each other in the parking lot. I'm like, God damn.
Oh boy.
Fucking what's your old ass?
Vehicles, that one in that Chevy Blazer. Like, whoa, dude, pump the brakes.
Yes, he had them all. He knew what time they left. It was weird. It was a weird deal, but I loved it. It was the best summer of my life. Like I had a fucking blast.
It's fun. I mean, it's fun, kind of mindless work, but depends what you want to do.
And then I made everybody mad because I have all my teeth, and at the time I had a college education. Well, I still got my college education, but I had just graduated, and they put me in charge of cutting greens like a weekend.
Right away. And that's primo.
Yes, yeah. You got your shit together. So there were guys that had been there 4 or 5 years, they're checking themselves in and out of county jail, and here I am. I'm cutting fucking greens 1, 7, 9, and 15, and they're
right.
They're weed eating with T-Rex.
There's a lesson to be learned here. Zach, how old are you? 35?
What am I? I'm 36.
36. Andy, you're 35?
Yep.
Both of you guys are successful. Both of you live life basically by a good set of rules, and y'all have good lives. You also have both had work ethic. So if you're a young person, 15, 16, and I know there are some young kids that people let them watch this and listen to this without the parental controls, learn from these two guys. Find you something you like to do, but work. And even if you take a job working at a golf course when you're 15 years old, you're thinking, oh, that's going to suck. You can learn a lot from that. But make people a good hand and make the most of it. And you can parlay that into something in life, but it's called work ethic. And both of you guys have good work ethic, and that's why. My favorite job when I was growing up is I worked as a milk swamper on a dairy truck. It was a lot of fun. I didn't make no fucking money. And then I worked at a furniture store when I was 19 years old for about 3 or 4 years. And I learned a lot about customer service, but it was a fun job because the people you work with are fun. But it's also different when you're not really sitting on your future and you work with people and that's what they're doing for a living. And you get in there and you learn from them guys and you enjoy being around them.
Mm-hmm.
So
one of the most depressing days there was the day that I was leaving, because it was like a lot, like Jeff said, a lot. This is a career for a lot of guys, and it was just like this summer thing that I did and loved. And
yeah, you just thought it was 3 months. You're like, whatever.
Yeah, to them it was everything. Can't lose that fucking job.
Yeah.
So I don't know, perspective, you know.
No, big time. Like in summers of like college and all that, I was working for the city. Mm-hmm. Loved it. Loved every second of it. Was supposed to be on like the mow crew. Didn't make the mow crew. Ended up going on the tree crew, and I figured that shit out. Why after? Because you're like I'm that guy. They called me lunch bitch. Like they just steal my lunch and snacks.
Lunch bitch.
They got all the equipment. I'm sitting there running around like manual labor. That's fine. And then from there, I ended up going to the water department, which is a sexy way of saying sewer department, and did that. Dude, I loved it. Loved every second of it.
Did y'all have shit grates that y'all had to clean there?
Oh, every one of them. Worked on the jetter for like 2 summers.
We had a guy fall in our shitter here one time in the slurry deal that spins around. Lucky he didn't drown, but it was a bad deal. Payne worked for the city, and he called me and told me, me and Michelle were going somewhere, and we were going to the airport. He called up. He said, "Well, it's a bad day at the city." I go, "What happened?" And I'm not going to mention the guy's name. He goes, "Well, he fell in the slurry deal." I said, "The shit deal?" Yeah, we just barely got him out. I was like, "God Almighty!" He said, "Got out, and the first thing he asked for is where his cigarettes were."
Ruined his smokes.
I suppose they're probably a little wet.
But evidently, there's like grinders. I didn't work there, but there's grinders that grind all the shit up. And that's where he was headed to. Had nobody been out there like that, that would have been how he met his demise.
Yeah. So if you flush other bullshit down, like, and you'll see all of it, literally. Like that stuff will get stuck or caught in there, and then you obviously got to go. Oh yeah, it's lovely.
Ooh, boy, that's tough. But what a way to die!
Yeah.
Like that's how did he die? Oh, he's at the bottom of the shit pit. It ground him up. Like best case,
somebody dies every year that way.
Best case scenario is you get ground up and you don't drown on the town's shit water. Like,
or hit your head on the ladder falling down inside the manhole, and hopefully you get knocked out before.
Just grind my ass up.
Terrible last memory.
The down up the shitter deal would be, burning up in a car fire.
But just knowing, like,
what a horrible way to go.
You're breathing in just the town's.
You're swallowing everybody.
Everything. Everybody's jizz rags. Yeah.
Oh my
tampons,
God.
Condoms, whatever people flush, like that's going in the mouth.
Underwear.
Oh
yeah.
So after we left the city and the deal, we got to Wild Gear. You worked your Wild Ear, and you worked your way up there, and then you come to work for Boss.
Yep.
And you're the main cog at Boss now. Who's the hardest employee you have to deal with here?
Say that one more time.
Who's the hardest employee that you have to deal with here?
We don't really have a hard employee or a difficult employee. That's where we're pretty fortunate. We're so small that like everyone just kind of jumps in, has everyone's back. You know, honestly, it's just trying to manage some of the outside vendors, and we had crazy supply chain bullshit. It seems like since the last 2 years, which feels like forever. Just staying up on all that stuff, and just working through everything and the different seasons, different products.
You gave a really nice politically correct answer, because I asked little Sareki about it at Squad Fest, and he told me there were some people that are a pain in the butt up there. But that's from a 14-year-old boy's standpoint.
Yeah.
When he takes over, these people better watch out.
Yeah, no shit.
Their job is not
coming in with the hammer.
Their job is not safe. You went to Canada recently. What all did y'all chase up there?
Yeah, we went, I think 2 weeks ago. Shot mostly specs and some ducks and then some honkers. So.
Okay, have you been to this part of Canada before?
Not this part. I'd been about an hour and a half away from this part.
Okay.
Further east. We were out west.
Did you shoot speckle bellies at this place an hour and a half west like you shot at this place?
No.
Fuck. I'm telling Jeff right now, and the things that I've seen on Instagram, everybody is shooting specs right now, and a lot of them.
And there was a shit pile up there, and they'd been there for probably maybe a week before we got there. Yeah, and the boys are smashing daily. They get pictures in the office. Just like, yeah.
Our specs come from a unique area, though. Our specs come from a small area in Alaska. Yes, they do.
Okay, but why? What? Who's to say that the specs that we shoot from Alaska aren't spreading out in Canada right now and just getting the piss beat out of them? And then by the time when my theory is going into the year, we're gonna have fucking educated birds. Because everybody is shooting a lot of specs right now, and they're barred up. They're beautiful. I saw some of the pictures that y'all shot up there. And I mean, it's just I'm worried what our early specs are going to look like.
Yeah, I think they get hunted pretty hard, and then they changed the limit up there too. So like guys are obviously like targeting them, and folks want to go up there and shoot them. So it's I'd say if you're on the kind of that Midwest side and that's like a bird you want to go chase, then you're going to want to go do it early, you're going to go out there and go do it, What
were the limits on specs?
8.
And you can shoot your 8 Canadas?
No, that would count against your dark.
So it's just 8 darks.
Yeah.
And 8 ducks. And is it 5 cranes in Canada is what somebody told me.
5 cranes.
Yeah. Did y'all shoot any cranes?
8 ducks, 8 darks. We did. We shot a couple. Yeah. It was a pretty unique way of chasing or killing them. And I won't share it because it's their trick, but it's a midday deal. I'll put it that way. So it doesn't really interrupt or interfere with your morning or your evening scout.
Had you hunted with Lee ever before this trip, or have you hunted with Lee a lot?
Yeah, I've hunted with him a couple times. Yeah, there's probably 5 or 6 different trips there for sure with him.
Lee is a very patient man.
Oh, incredibly.
Yeah,
incredibly.
This weekend with him here and watching the way he did things and the way he sacrificed his body with the stickers down here was absolutely amazing.
Oh, it's nuts.
Did he tell you about the stickers yet?
No, but it doesn't surprise me at all. Did he Did he just lay down and then catch one?
Laid in a sticker patch. There, if you took a sticker per acre, we probably are at about 55,000 stickers per acre in this place we hunted. He laid down in them. Tony had a board from some construction work that he put down so he could lay on it. He jumps in the murder wagon, which is what I call my vehicle that I drive. He jumps in the murder wagon and he goes, oh, God, there's one on my ass. And then he stood up. He's like, oh, it's on the other cheek now too. And he had a sticker on each ass cheek.
I'm sending you a picture right now of Lee working. And so that's after he had already laid down. We found a board in the back of Tony's pickup. And so like he just laid, you can see on the bottom of his shoe right there, like it's covered.
Oh, it's all over his shoes and his laces.
Covered in stickers. So like he just sat down in that shit to get the shot. And then Tony's like,
he's an animal.
Hold on.
And then it's no wonder he doesn't have any shoulders or knees left.
Yeah. Oh, I picked up his camera Jesus Christ. Some bitch weighs 412 pounds. I didn't know they made a camera that weighed that much. Then I unloaded his bags at the airport. Good God Almighty! And I carried part of them in for him and left him there for him at the lobby. You know how they can't get back to a certain point. But I was like, God Almighty, how do you haul this shit around? He goes, well, usually Luke goes with me. I was like, well, I can tell why.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, running carts and I think his baggage, like Delta gives you 50 pounds. I think that like he laughs at that. Like, all right, sounds good. Here's my 200-pound sack, and you're like, bro, what is in here?
Yeah. I picked him up on Thursday when he got here, and I saw him, and he was going back inside. So I whip around and I start loading up his bags, and I'm like, I pick up his first bag, and I'm like, somebody's gonna call the fucking cops on me. I mean, fucking, this could be a drug deal. Like, I'm stealing luggage because, all it is this old Willie Nelson looking dude walks up with bags, sets them on the curb, and then this fucking Ford pickup wheels in and just ass hanging out in the road and just starts shoving the bags in. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be very fun to explain.
This will look great on a surveillance camera.
Yeah. So then luckily he comes out and he says, hey, quit touching my bags, which made the situation much better.
Hey, dude.
Hey, quit touching my bags. I'm like, oh, fuck. I was already worried about this. And now I got an old man, throwing a fit that I'm touching his bag. So
textbook.
Yeah. So
how's your dub season been?
It's been a good season. We had a great weekend this weekend.
Yeah.
And the week before on the group, we had a great weekend. We've had, I'm going to say out of 1 to 10, I'm going to say it's been an 8 all year long. It's been really good. I had one group here that had pretty slow hunts on their Friday, Saturday, and Sunday hunts. It's just one of them random deals where that was the one group that everywhere we'd take them to, something happened. And they were small. They were a group of 12 people here when we had 30 or 40 other people here, but other groups. But other than that, that's the only group I can think of that didn't have pretty solid shooting. But the last 2 weeks have been just outstanding. I mean, crazy good. And the group that was here when Lee was here, they just completely slaughtered the birds. And it was a good weekend. We done good. We do a lot of corporate stuff. 30, 40 people book the whole lodge themselves. And I like those kind of groups.
Oh.
And I think Lee had a really good time. We shot a lot of birds. We tested for some product. I don't know if we're allowed to talk about that. Are we allowed to talk about that, or is that off limits?
Let's hold it for now.
Top secret,
But anyways, that those turbo laser deals that we were doing, it was a good time.
The nets.
But no, it was a good time. Lee's a hell of a shot too, but he is a very patient person.
Yeah, very much so.
And Sareki asked me this. He asked how Jessie did, and I said she's a better shot than Andy is, and she is.
She was shooting a 410. She was stoning them.
That's solid.
I'm not that good of a shot, though.
You need to work on your shooting, Andy.
I had the one highlight reel shot, 50 yards going away, but aside from that, it was a pretty poor weekend for
I think
world famous.
I think in the on Saturday and on Sunday, no, we hunted Friday after. When did we hunt with Lee? Friday
afternoon, Saturday afternoon, because it rained Saturday morning.
Friday and Saturday, I think with Lee we shot
Friday morning.
I think we shot around 170 dove probably with Lee on this.
Yeah, that sounds pretty damn good to me. I mean, we don't even have a dove season here in Michigan.
We put out lucky duck spinners, and we told him, I said, it's gonna be just like shooting ducks, and then they come right into them decoys. I mean, it's crazy. It's a good time.
Sitting on a chair or bucket, just kind of out in the open, or how are you guys setting it up?
Well, that's the first thing we did. He's like, do I need camo? I said, no. Face paint? I said, shit, no. We parked the vehicles where they make shade. So you park your vehicle where the sun's behind you, and then I sit in my Stanfield stool and sit right in the front of it, and we had four lucky duck spinners that were 25 yards in front of us maybe.
Yeah.
And them dove will spin around. They would come around us and spin around and come right in and land on them.
That's awesome.
It's pretty easy.
Yeah, sounds like a fun time there for sure.
It is a good time. It's better than the old-fashioned ways of dove hunting where you used to try to get in the flight line. Yeah. They fly here, so you go down here. And I'm going to tell you what, on Friday night, the north wind hit at about 30 miles an hour, and it was not easy to hit a dove with flying 30 miles an hour.
I'm sure not.
So what do you shoot? Are you a 12-gauge guy still, or now that you got Boss, have you gone to the sub-gauge culture?
I shot a 28 gauge that entire time up in Canada, shooting that 3.5 shell, and I never once felt like I was undergunned.
Really?
No. But mostly shoot a 20 gauge. I'll go down to a 28 if it's right. And I mean, most of the time, if I'm going with buddies, it's more or less like the shell share thing, right? So it's like bring, like, what gun or gauge are we going to kind of bring and use? So if a guy does need a bum shells, you can. You don't want to be that one clown out there with the different, like something different.
I'll never shoot nothing but a 28 gauge from now on.
What about a 20?
Nope.
Not even a 20?
Nope. I will shoot a 28 gauge. I am going to go dove hunting tomorrow evening with the boys.
We are?
Yeah, we need to go dove hunting with the boys tomorrow evening. And I'm going to shoot the 410 with Reese, so he'll shoot it and let Jesse shoot the 28. But I'm going to buy another 28 gauge, but I will never shoot nothing but a 28 gauge on my own, whether I'm goose hunting, crane hunting, duck hunting, or dove hunting.
Wow.
There's no sense in it. I can shoot 28 gauge fives at geese and cranes, or I can shoot
3.5. Go 3.5.
or whatever. Well, just fives. I'm a good enough shot. I don't need the threes. Just fives will work.
No big deal.
Yes, no big deal. You just got to hit them. All of a sudden, I've gotten this passion to want to hunt again. It's happened just since we teal hunted this year. And I haven't dove hunted. I have not dove hunted more than just every once in a while to go in the last 10 years. And man, I had such a good time. I want to go Wednesday again.
What, why'd you get the bug, or what got you going?
I don't know, but all of a sudden, I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's the weight loss. I've got more energy. I think looking back now, I seen where I was not doing shit because I was a fat, lazy bastard. Now I'm just a fat bastard, not fat and lazy both. But I think that 100 pounds is took my lazy out of me, and I want to do more stuff like that. Like I don't want to. Yeah, that's cool. I don't want to go climb the Rocky Mountains to shoot a fucking Rocky Mountain goat. There ain't nothing like that. I could lose another 100 pounds and be on cocaine, and I'm not doing that shit. But I think there's a new desire to want to go. I told Douglas Spell on the phone today. I said, listen, we are going to Canada with Lee and Ramsey next year in October. We're going to get the dates figured out. Ramsey's getting this all figured out for us, and we're going. Andy, I've already cleared it with his wife.
Where's fucking going? Where's going?
I told him, I said, listen, me and Andy got work to go, so we're going. So don't no bitch. You know, if she bitches at him, I don't care. She ain't gonna bitch at me about it. And actually, I think your wife probably gripes at me more than she does you, anyways.
No, I don't do anything wrong, Jeff. So of course.
Well, I do. I do a lot.
He's a saint.
Yeah.
And so, Michelle, while you're listening to this podcast, I'm letting you know that our trip to New York next year, or to go see the leaves, we're going to go a week earlier somewhere so we can go. The guys can go hunt.
Do you go to Canada every year?
I mean, I hadn't for 2 years? COVID? But yeah, typically, me and buddies would always kind of go up. There's 5 or 6 of us that would make the trip up, you know, going out of Minneapolis, making the drive. It's not, I mean, it's far, but it's not. You just rotate drivers and everyone stay fresh. But we're also the type that would drive through the night and show up at the kind of the first scouting spot and start watching it. So the first day was always kind of a bear, but trying to just make best use of vacation and time not home. It's like, this is how you got to do it. So
now, is it all DIY, or do you have people that you go with up there?
With my buddies from back home, it'd be pretty much just DIY, our own deal, and just go cruise. But I mean, no outfitters and no buddies up there, but typically try not to mess with any of their stuff.
What was this year? Did you see a bunch of ducks this year, or was it mainly geese at y'all, or were you not even going after ducks?
Ducks they weren't really down yet. In the area we were in, it was pretty dry too. So you didn't see a whole ton of ducks like spread out, you know, so they're really like handful, big pieces of water. So the ducks that you did see were obviously all over it. But it was mostly just big spec numbers and crane numbers too. So
there's
a lot.
I'm so nervous.
There's a lot.
I'm so nervous about what this is going to do to our specs. You guys are going to dick with them up there, and they're not going to be worth the shit down here for us.
No, they won't. No, they won't be.
Now, what were the cranes? Did you get into them pretty good? I know you can't tell us how you did it, but I mean, did you put a hurt on?
No, we didn't. No, I mean, we didn't have like a barn burner to like shoot them up, hunt every round. And we only hunted them twice though, you know, so the ones that did it, you know, they're cool to watch.
Feet hanging down.
Yeah, exactly. nuts.
Yeah.
From, they were pretty tall too when they started that. It wasn't like they were, 100 or 200 yards up in the air. They were little dots.
Right. How do you think the 3.5 took hold? Because Lee was saying that that's something that y'all never really push, but it's one of might be the most popular boss load. Where did it come from?
I think it's originally we kind of made that shell for outfitters, so outfitters could have it, and just the hope was just, hey dude, have one shell that you got to keep track of inventory wise, and no matter what you're hunting or shooting, this is the shell. Which that's what it was back in the start, and then all of a sudden it just kind of picked up a bunch of speed and momentum, and guys love it. It's just so versatile. You can go shoot anything with it. Now, granted, it's way overkill on your small upland stuff, but at the same time, it's a waterfall shell, really.
Yeah, I think that it
I think you
somehow hacks into the consumer's mind that they're getting a bargain, like
2 for 1.
They're getting a 2 for 1 deal. Like they can shoot geese with it, and they can shoot ducks, and they're not really sacrificing anything. Whereas back in the steel days, mentally, you had to have 2s and BBs or whatever, and then you would get 6s for ducks, and you always had to keep track of like what you need. But with this, it's versatile. You can use it for whatever.
When back in the old days, back when I used to guide, even you'd have ducks come into the spread, and you'd hear the guns click, 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 click. Everybody's unloading guns and trying to load them back up, and that's when I just started shooting 2s all the time. I shot it at everything because I got sick and tired of trying back and forth. But I was telling Lee the other day, I remember shooting T and F shot when steel first came out. It was that shitty to shoot it.
That's crazy.
But that's what you had to do.
I remember seeing that stuff and shooting it. Just, I don't know, garbage.
Yep.
That 3.5, it's a happy medium, and like, I think mentally you have the confidence that you have the right shell. And then you obviously go make the shots, and you kind of see the end result, and you're obviously happy with it.
Now, let me ask you, because were you this big gun guy before you got to boss? Because I get some questions, and I'm like, number one, why does this even matter? And number two, I have no fucking clue, because I just run a full choke, and that's it. For waterfowl. Yeah. Obviously, I switched to improved, but like, I get so many questions. I get some questions. I'm like, I didn't even know this was a fucking thing in the gun world.
Right. Yeah. There's questions that come in daily that I'm like, I have no clue. I'm not a gunsmith, like, let's go shoot ducks and geese.
Right.
I'll tell you what works for me, but that just because it works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for the next person or everyone. So everyone's got different styles and techniques, and that's fine. That's perfect. Like for me, I have a old Benelli, old Black Eagle 1, and it's beat to shit, but it's cool. And if you take care of it and clean it and try to replace like the parts that wear out on it, no different than preventative maintenance on a vehicle, like it'll work and take care of itself. So yeah, I don't get into the whole like nerd out culture on these guns. Like, it's a shotgun. It's not a long range rifle.
Boy, some people do though. Like, there's questions, and I'm like, I'm such a knuckle dragger. I'm like, I put 3 in and the safety works, and I pull the trigger.
Right.
That's basically all I know about this. I can change the choke. Aside from that, like, I don't know about your fucking drop or what. I don't even know what the different chokes. I don't even know how much they tighten them or anything like that. It's just.
Yeah, I mean, I've obviously had to familiarize myself with a lot of that, but like, as far as like the fit of a gun, and length of pull and all that, like, I've got fitted for like guns before as far as our measurement, and like now just to have a reference point. Like, I haven't had a gun fit me size wise since I've been like 8.
Yeah.
So you just deal with it and you figure it out, and you learn how to shoot it,
That's what I was going to ask. Like, do you look awkward when you're shooting a 28 gauge? Like, you got this little pea shooter, and
it's a toy gun. Like it's a toy. It's a little baby gun.
You're this
it's
big
fun.
guy.
Yeah, I was there. We were up in we were in Canada. I was actually FaceTiming Fighter. He was out fishing. He's like, "How's it going?" I was like, "Pretty good." Like, give me like 20 seconds here. We had a little group working. I just held my phone in my left hand and shot with my right. Shot him on FaceTime with Fighter, and as he's ripping a giant dagger, and like, cool, see you, dude.
You gotta look.
They're fun. I mean, the benefit to that 20 and 28 gauge, it's like just there's no recoil to it, you know. So shot 2 and 3 is as good as your first shot, you know. So you can stay on target or stay on the birds, and just you're way more efficient, effective, and then it's like, okay, we killed them. Let's get out of this field and, you know, either hit the pavement or let the birds like relax, and you're not shooting into all these groups.
If you've had shoulder surgery or neck surgery and the recoil bothers you, the 28 gauge, that's the biggest selling point on the 28 gauge.
Yeah.
Now, my 12 gauge over under with y'all's 12 gauge 7s, slap shit out of you. But the 28 gauge don't bother me at all. And that's one reason.
Right.
Getting older too. That's another thing. As you get older, and the older guys, I think the 28 gauge, you're fixing to see a huge resurgence in it all across our country because of the boss. Because you can shoot anything with it, and it's so much easier on your shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would agree 100%.
Yeah.
And after 150 rounds this weekend through mine, that was not that bad.
That was enough.
Yes.
Now, you also played hockey. Did you played in college?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, growing up. I mean, I think everyone, you have to in Minnesota.
It's
if you're from Minnesota, you have to play
required
hockey.
by law.
But I played football, hockey, baseball growing up.
Tell them the story about you taking care of the old bully who was picking on the kid on the ice on the summer summer hockey league.
Yeah, it was a Sunday night league, like 10 o'clock ice, cheap ice, and there was this dude on the other team. He was an old guy, old like Jeff, like running around, running his mouth,
putting it into it,
like chasing the little kid on our team, and jacked him a couple times. Was like, dude, relax. Like, it's Sunday. We all are going to work tomorrow. And this might have been my commercial real estate accounting days. It's like, relax, dude, chill out. And he did it again. And I was like, dude, that's it. I'm over it.
So how old were you at this time?
23, 24.
Oh, you were a thumper. You were just a kid.
Yeah, he was the goon. You checked his ass, didn't you?
Yeah, I grabbed him and threw him around a little bit. I just don't like bullies. Like, dude, stop.
Now, when you say little guy, like he was the shifty one on the team, like he was
your size, Andy.
Yeah. He's like, this dude's probably 5'9", maybe 170 pounds.
That's me. I'm a little taller than that.
Well, I saw the guy at Game Fair. He walked by and Zach growled at him. That motherfucker took off walking real fast.
The guy that you checked?
Hey, I did.
Yes,
see
I
him
was right by
out.
you when you did. You said, "Oh, there's that fucker right there that tried to be the bully to the kid."
Yeah, I saw him driving out again. He's a nice dude, and funny shit is, like, I ended up hunting with him 2 or 3 years after the fact.
Really?
And that was it. Didn't even say anything about it. I don't know if he remembered or recognized or whatever.
Well,
I don't like people picking on people. It's bullshit.
He's gonna listen to this now, and he thought, "Mother, that's that big sumbitch at Boss. I didn't realize that's the guy that punked me around."
How far he's come. So do you have to? Is that just protocol? You have to pull the jersey up over their head, or does it just happen that way?
Usually, there's a strap, like your fight straps on the back of the jersey, which is supposed to be looped and hooked to like the breezers, which are like the top pants, so you don't get jerseyed. I mean, you just don't want to get jerseyed, then you can't see and you get hit in the head.
Because that's like the move. Everybody goes over the top and then pulls.
Yeah.
And then it's just all uppercuts.
For sure, it just doesn't happen. Yeah. I mean, if you totally go lose your shit, then yeah, you can try to jersey the guy. I mean, it doesn't happen all that often, though.
So do the refs know when this is about to happen, and then they just stay out of the way? Like, listen, let's let these guys tire themselves out, and then we'll break it up.
Yeah, I mean, good refs, but you'll see it all the time. Like, so it's preseason right now in the NHL, so these guys are running around like trying to make the team.
Okay.
So like these bubble guys, like if that's their role, then if you're not like a 30 goal scorer, it's like, dude, you're gonna have to fight your way onto this team. But they're changing the game, so then these refs are like, they mix this shit up and get into it and break these fights up way too quick. And then these refs end up getting punched. And it's like, well, I could have told you that was going to happen. You're talking like big dudes, man, like pissed off.
Yeah.
Like the last thing you want to do is like just wiggle your way in. You're going to catch one.
Yeah.
Which a ref did like a week ago.
Because you're a big guy. I don't know. I've never seen a hockey player in person, but you're a big guy. Are most of them your size?
I bet you they're bigger than me, like the fighter guys.
Really?
Shane Shirley was about your size. He hunted with me years ago.
And what, you're 6'6", 6'5"?
No, I'm only 6'3".
Yeah.
6'3"?
Shane was probably about 6'3", probably about 250. Was a big fucker. Toughest son of a bitch I've ever seen in my life.
If you want hockey and hunting stories, I will. I'll try to put a guest on it for you.
Well, good.
We'd love to.
Good
That'd
deal.
Be awesome.
I hunted the guy that played for the North Stars, and then they moved to Dallas. It's Shane Shirley, and he was their fighter guy, and he was your size. I used to tell everybody all the time he's Tony's size, but at about 4 inches taller for Tony. He was a big guy like that.
Well, and you're doing it on ice.
Yes,
it's not like you can set your feet when you see a blow coming. You can't like set your feet and kind of brace it. Like you're on skates.
No, you have two edges to pick from. Yep. It's like you're either going to eat it and then hopefully give one back, or it's like it's probably it, and wham.
Shane was coming on a hunt like a Monday and Tuesday. Well, on Saturday night he got his ankle broke playing in the game, so I was not expecting him to be here Sunday. And Sunday night at dinner, here he comes in. I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" He said, "Well, shit, we're gonna hunt, aren't we?" I said, "Yeah." And they put him on injured reserve or whatever hockey. I don't know much about hockey, but they had done surgery on him like Saturday night and put pins in his ankles and shit. And he carried a bag of decoys into the field. Like, I mean, tough as hell. Yeah. I was like, God almighty.
Absolute warrior.
Oh.
That's the cool part about like small town Canada too, is when you're driving into those towns or through the towns, there'll be like a big board or sign coming into those towns with like all the hockey players that are from that town, from the area, which is pretty cool. A little history piece.
That is cool. There's no about it.
The early guys, the early hockey players, kind of like the early football players. Like you got a leather helmet and like some shitty pads.
And they had a real job after football season and hockey season was over.
And I mean, and hockey players, like they had nothing back in the day. Like, did they even have helmets?
No, I mean, I don't think they had to wear helmets till like mid-70s or some deal.
Didn't have teeth.
Maybe.
No teeth. I mean, you were a rookie until you like lost 17 teeth and had 460 stitches or some shit. I mean, there were some tough bastards.
Yeah.
They could.
There's a documentary about Bob Probert on, I don't know, Amazon or one of the streaming devices online. It's a pretty wild story.
What is it? What's it called? I'll check it out. Do you remember?
I don't even know. Just do Bob Probert documentary or something.
I'll check.
Did you watch football last night?
Like 30 seconds of it, so no.
Troy Aikman, who I'm not a Troy Aikman fan at all. He's from Oklahoma. Let's just get that straight. He's not a Dallas guy. Well, it wouldn't matter. You know? But anyways, Troy Aikman last night made a comment. They had another one of them pussy-ass quarterback roughing calls, and he said they need to take the dresses off these guys and let them play football. He is catching all kinds of hell today because the LGBTQ transgender people are upset over him demasculating football. It's fucking football. We ain't got chicks with dicks in it. You know, tough shit.
Yeah.
Tough shit.
Well, no shit. But he did. He said, we need to take the dresses off these guys and let them play football. And he's right.
They do.
He's exactly right. It's fucking ridiculous. Tom Brady didn't get rough morning, but Tom Brady got up whining about this shit.
And he tried to kick the guy in the nuts.
I'm becoming a non-Tom Brady fan. I hope he gets his fucking head knocked off. I'm serious. If the Dallas Cowboys play Tampa Bay, I'm pulling for the Cowboys. It's that bad. I'm sick of his shit. I mean, he is the greatest ever, but he's becoming a real pussy lately.
Yeah, one rule they need to do. One rule that I don't understand is like unnecessary roughness.
Yeah,
it's fucking football.
For the life of me, what? Well, and then I would say like, well, define necessary. I want to rip his fucking head off.
Yeah, it's what you're taught to do from a very young age.
And for the,
I'm gonna hit you. Yeah, I'm not gonna block you. Like, dude, I want to decleat ear hole you.
Yeah.
Right.
From my days with the Pee Wee Giants in Dog Patch, my dad coached, and my dad used to tell us all the time, rip their head off and shit in their lungs. And so I always remembered that as I was a little kid. But that's what I'm third, fourth, and fifth grade. That's what my dad's telling me. And you know what? Nobody thought nothing of it. It was a different world we lived in.
Because they were trying to do the same thing to you. I watched Hard Knocks this year and with the Lions. And
Detroit, yeah.
The defensive coordinator, what's
Aaron
his name?
Glenn.
He was talking to that Rodrigo kid, and he said, I want you to stick your fucking right L under his chin strap.
100%.
And that's what he told it. So, I mean, they're hearing it on the sidelines. They've been conditioned to have this kill or be killed attitude, rip their heads off and shit in their lungs since they were 8 years old.
Football
is necessary. But he did. He said, I want you to stick your fucking Rydell underneath his chin strap.
Football is modern day gladiators, is what they are. Guys play inside of an arena that get paid big money. I mean, it's not like they're not well compensated. There ain't one of them out there. That damn, it's a slave owner's mentality with these owners. These motherfuckers are compensated very well to play a sport. They're dying to do it. That's why people cry and get upset when they get cut. Let them play fucking football. That's why people watch the game. The people in the media, the left, they're the ones that's trying to pussyfy football, not the football fans. We want fucking football. If you get hurt and you can't play no more, that's part of it. That's part of why you make big money. Don't spend it all.
Correct.
I seen the guy, Robert Griffith Jr., the third, or whoever the hell it was bitching RG3 because Matt Rule is still owed $40 million by the Carolina Panthers. He's like, coaches shouldn't be having guaranteed contracts. It's the players are. Well, the team owners are happy with those guaranteed contracts from coaches. That's why they pay them that money,
Yeah.
And if you don't want guaranteed money, and some players are getting guaranteed money, but we are getting to a point where someone like Russell Wilson and all his guaranteed money, teams are going to quit doing that shit after they eat a $200 million contract.
Yeah.
Because right now it looks like Russell Wilson robbed a bank.
Yeah, he's not good.
But anyways, Aikman's in big trouble over that. What did you think? Well, we're talking about fishing a minute ago, or we really weren't talking about fishing. But,
where were we talking about fishing?
I don't have a clue.
Fighter?
I guess so. We're talking about Fighter. I
FaceTime with Fighter.
I put a phone
We were
call.
talking about fishing.
I got a phone call in. I talked to the guy that's the commissioner of that fishing, the Walleye League, or whatever it is, the tournament.
Justin Franklin.
I talked to a guy last night on the phone. I think we're going to have him on in 2 weeks. When I get back on vacation, we're going to have him on. What do you think about that? That has had to fuck up the whole fishing tournament series, the bass, everybody over this shit.
Yeah, I mean, Erie's not far from here. It's 2.5, 3 hours where all that shit went down. I think absolutely, but at the same time, it's like hopefully something can be in place here so that type of shit doesn't happen again. I feel bad for the dudes that really won it.
Yeah.
Or got third or just missed the money by one spot when they were doing all that bullshit. That's the worst part, man.
Yeah.
Like garbage.
It wasn't just one tournament. Like, obviously it's going to be very difficult to prove that they did it at more than one tournament, but common sense would tell you if they did it here, this was not the first time.
No, and you could tell, you could hear, as that one video started to get deeper into the time, you could hear like some of the off comments, what seemed to be from like the cameraman's left, like some comments under their breath and all that shit. Like it was gonna happen.
There's a documentary coming out, a Netflix documentary or Amazon Prime about this deal. It's in the making right now because this is a hell of a story, and they're going to go back and track these other fishing tournaments. I'm telling you right now, if this shit would have happened in a southeast in Georgia, Alabama, all the way to Texas, somewhere on a gar fishing deal where they bow hunt or something, somebody be getting their ass whooped is what would have happened right there.
I'm surprised he did.
I am surprised too, because some guy lost out some money. There's some old boy right now that, like you said, was one spot out of the money, and the difference between him making $10,000 or $50,000 as opposed to making $700, he's fighting mad right now.
Or broke and divorced. Like if he didn't make his fine, lost it all.
Well, I was trying to be nice about it, but yes,
yeah,
we're losing the trailer, honey.
Yeah,
yeah. I didn't place for shit in this tournament. Everything's gone.
Yeah.
I knew one dude that was at that tournament in that video that we used to like sell baits to before when we were doing the fishing lure thing. I haven't talked to him yet. I saw it all kind of dust up and I was shocked when it got as much attention and publicity as it did. Mm-hmm. And then it's everywhere. It's like, good Lord, this has some momentum going, so it'd be interesting to hear his take and perspective on it because he's fished in these tournaments against those two forever.
Well, I had a guy message me the day it happened, and he sent me a text and said, hey, this would be pretty interesting. Thought you might see it. And I'm watching it, and I thought, it's fucking fishing tournament shit. What the hell could be happening? And then I see the guy start cutting the fish up. I thought, oh, shit, someone's fixing to lose their shit.
Yeah.
And, boy, it escalated real fast. And you could hear them people string them up and all this other shit. And I would have been hot, too.
We need to get the guy that's running that thing. We need to get him some like extra toughs or something because he's wearing those sliders, and I don't. That's not a good look. When I can see a man's toes and he's got jeans on, this isn't good. This isn't good. That's all I took away from the videos. Listen, we got rubber boots out there right now.
Get him on it in 2 weeks.
Fucking, I'm gonna get him a pair of extra toughs. Got to do it. All right, Zach. We've gone over an hour here, and I know you got shit to do. So.
We'll see you in December.
Yeah, you're coming down, right?
Yeah.
Good. Bring everybody.
Yeah, and Brandon,
bring the squad, dude. It'll be fun.
Brandon's going to catfish out on us on this deal. You watch. He says he's not.
No, he's coming.
I hope he does.
Come.
Jeff's taking bets right now that Brandon doesn't make it down.
Yeah,
he's coming.
What about Dirk? Who all we got? Who's coming? Somebody's got to watch the shop.
Meg.
Oh, well, yeah, but we got. I mean, the gals, they got this shit going. They're golden. You need to get the girls on.
Well, there's a bunch that we need on. We need them on. We need the guy that's gone to all the Grateful Dead concerts. Like
Mikey.
Our work's not done here.
He's a gem too.
Our work's not done.
Well, this is like the boss week for the podcast because we had shows today and we got you tomorrow.
And then Maddie's going to come on next week. So
we're good.
You got to get Maddie on it, or get Maddie and Fighter both on at the same time so they can talk shit to each other.
Now I might try to.
Who's
wind the clock?
Fighter's got a new baby. I hate to ask him to do anything right now.
So Dirk,
no, dude, he'll do it.
Dirk's coming.
I guarantee he does.
Dirk's going to be here with y'all because Dirk's giving me a tattoo when you're here. Lee's drawing it, and Dirk's going to do it while you're here. So
we just got to make sure we got the supplies. How far is the closest tattoo joint from you for supplies?
Where y'all land at, there will be one.
Yeah.
Do you know anybody there? Should we just ship stuff down ahead of time?
You probably better ship stuff because I don't know a tattoo guy. I've got one tattoo, and it was me and Wheezy, or what's his name?
Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne. We got our tattoo at the same place. So
by the same
Jesus,
guy.
What did you get for a tattoo? Either something on your ankle, or you got a butterfly.
I ain't got no butterfly. I got a tramp stamp. No, I got a deal on an M on my ankle. And it's got when me and Michelle got married. But if Michelle pisses me off, I can just say it's my mom and put my mom's birth date on it and switch it around.
There you have it.
There you go. But my next one, Lee's going to draw some art up, and I'm going to have it on my other ankle. I ain't getting it fucking hurt. I was whining like a bitch anyways. I didn't like it. Oof. I never thought I'd get it.
Yeah, probably on your little bone.
Yep. Yeah. How many tattoos you got?
They're fun. I only got one.
Why ain't you got any more?
It's underneath your arm, isn't it?
Yeah.
That had to hurt.
Right arm. That one tickled a little bit. Guy's like, where do you want it? Like right here. He's like, is your first one? All right, cool.
Dirk is the only tattoo artist I'm friends with, and I like Dirk, and I'm honored that he can do my tattoo. And if Lee draws it, that's pretty interesting, cool shit too. So
yeah, it'd be cool.
So that
we just got to figure out the spot to put it.
We're going on my ankle. We aren't discussing this. This is not a group.
No,
decision.
I think it's open. Why isn't? Let's open it up for bid.
No.
Put it on your page.
Why not, Jeff?
Highest for whoever puts the most money towards it gets to pay.
For money, Jeff.
Hell no.
You can. How about we do this? How about we pick like you?
How
pick
about
like,
you do this?
You pick like 5 spots.
No.
And then it can be
that are in the word.
That way nobody's saying like you're Johnson or anything like that. Because that's
that would be a really small tattoo.
That's a non-starter.
Yeah.
We can do it to scale. We've done it to scale.
Did I ever tell you about the guy in Knox City was on the date, the older guy with the lady? I don't think I've ever told this story.
Yeah.
Tuscaloosa, 100%. Alabama.
You done ruined the whole story.
Oh, he's already heard it.
You said it on the last podcast I was on.
Did I? Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go back and look at podcasts.
I thought we talked about it at Game Fair. You know what a guy sent me a message of the other day? The lady and the dog shit at the Game Fair.
It was Ray.
Oh,
it was Ray
God, that was terrible.
That was great.
Yeah, Big Ray.
He's like, you need to get the lady on the podcast who took the first $1 off the dog poop.
God.
Disgusting.
The things people will do for
if you want to kill time at Game Fair, just throw little pretzel sticks on the path and watch these dogs go bananas. They'll pull their owners over. It's actually it's fun when the show's
I want to take some Jack Links next year and do all that stuff.
You were a road warrior, so like you know how to pass time. When you thought you were going to die at Harrisburg, wasn't it? You had to you had to go take your little nap in finisher blind.
Did you get some rooms yet for Turkey Fest or Turkey Federation?
No, I haven't booked them yet, but I can.
Put me down for room because me and Michelle are going to come. We're going to come up to Nashville.
Yeah, no, I got you. That's perfect. It'll be fun.
It'll be a good time.
You guys will have fun with that one.
And we look forward to seeing you in Mexico, and we'll see you in December. We know you got to go.
Go make some shotgun shells. Love you, bud.
Game on, boys.
And see you soon.
See ya.
All right. Be good.
All right.
See ya.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
What a cool fucking company. I'm telling you, they got good guys and good ladies working there. Mm-hmm. Good story.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Anyways, boys at Boss, check them out. BossShotShells.com.
3.5. I mean, just whatever you shoot. You know, if you shoot 12 gauge, that's fine, but you can go lower. 20 gauge, 28 gauge.
Get you a 28 gauge and shoot some 5s and shoot all the birds you need all year long.
Be a gentleman about it.
It's not a gentleman. It's called easy on the shoulders.
Jeff, I'm telling you, I'm nervous about our speckle bellies.
I'm
nervous.
I'm
nervous because everybody's banging them in Canada right now.
And they have before.
Everybody. No, not like this. Not like this. This is different.
We'll see. I think you're worrying for nothing as usual. Negative Nancy. All right. Thank y'all for listening to us. God bless y'all. Thanksgiving weekend, I had a group cancel on me today. They had to move their hunt to January. So I've got Thanksgiving weekend open for a group. If you're interested in that, let me know. Private party, 6 people.
Great time.
Look for it. It's a great time. It's also opening weekend of crane season. Thank y'all for listening to us. God bless y'all. Have a great week.
Ladies and gentlemen, go look at our sponsors. Go check out Dirty Duck Coffee. Listen, right now they got a promo code Big Honker. You save yourself 15%. Ducks Unlimited, Double T British Kennels, Stanfield Hunting Outfitters, Pacific Calls has a promo code BHP25. Alpha Outdoor Specialties, Looking Glass Podcast, Lucky Duck, Shin Gear Waders, Gun Dog Outdoors, Dive Bomb Industries, Boss Shot Shells. Can't remember if I said Bangtail or not. Go check out Bangtail.